Welcome, Queen. Do you have the disease to please? Can you think back to a time where you experienced maybe a friend, family member, a coworker, or a stranger, or even a boyfriend ask you for something or ask you to do something and you said yes, but you knew you should have said no? Oh, you see, you should have said no, but you did not want to seem like the bad person. You didn't want conflict. You didn't want to argue. If so, I've been there. I know how it feels. I specifically can recall a moment in English class and the girl sitting behind me, she wasn't even my friend, asked me, "Can I see your purse?" I didn't want to argue. I wanted to get along. I didn't want it to be a fight. I just, I didn't want any problems. So I said yes, but I knew I should have said no. Yeah, and sometimes we take that mindset that I had as a kid, we take it into adulthood and we don't even realize it. That we're operating from a space to where we're trying to make or keep everyone happy with our choices and with our decisions. And so, simply put, when you have the disease to please, it means that we make choices that we shouldn't. We make choices that we don't want or that we don't like to do. And then we make these choices all at the expense of ourselves to avoid arguments or feeling like or coming across as though we're the bad person, we're a mean person. Yeah. And if that's you, if you know what I mean, then I want to challenge you today. Now, of course, you know that you can work with me one on one, but in this moment, I want to challenge you to do this. I want you to think back to the last 5 people. Yes, 5 people that you said yes to when you knew you should have said no. Get those people in mind. Now, I want you to go get something to write with and something to write on. Write those 5 names down. Next to those 5 names, I want you to write down what they ask you for or what they ask you to do. And then next to that, I want you to write down how you felt after you honored their request. Once you've completed that, there's a next step. And here it is. Within the next 2 weeks, because most likely if this person is still in your life, then most likely you're going to either talk to them or you're going to see them within the next 2 weeks. Whenever that time comes, I want you to address this issue with them. Yeah, that's what I said. Address it, because I want you to go back and set a boundary. Yeah, boundary setting. And I want you to just say, "Hey, do you remember when you asked me for this?" Or whatever it was. Whether they ask you for something or they ask you to do something. You know, I don't. You do. So be specific. And I want you to break that down, whatever that was, and say, "I did that and it's not your fault. I honored your request. And it made me feel however it made you feel." Be specific with how doing and honoring their request made you feel. And then follow that up by saying, "But today, I am moving forward with a new mindset. And I want to share with you what I'm no longer comfortable doing." And then speak it. Speak your truth and let them know. Because sometimes people do take advantage of us willfully, but sometimes they just don't know what they don't know, and they don't know it because we haven't communicated it. So here's your opportunity to create the space to communicate what you are no longer comfortable with as it relates to them and for them asking you for things or to do things for them. And after you communicate that to them, I want you to wait. Just be silent and give them the space, give them the opportunity to respond. And I want you to pay attention to how they respond to you, because how they respond to you will show you the value they have for you and for the relationship that you have with them. And as I've shared with you before, I share with you again. There are some relationships that are meant to end. There are some times that we need to let people who do not value us and what we bring into their life go. Because there is nothing, and I repeat, nothing wrong with wanting others to be happy or wanting to be a part of their happiness. And still, if you are making choices at the expense of yourself to make others happy or to avoid conflict and confrontation, then you are dismissing the fact that you are signing up to live a miserable life, because you're operating from a mindset that negatively impacts your quality of life. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing